Call the meeting order.
Commissioner Meeks,
Here.
Commissioner Schmidt,
Here.
Commissioner White,
Here.
Commissioner Mann.
Here.
Stands for the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any additions or changes to the agenda?
There are.
And we do citizens' comments at the end and now, so if there's any citizens' comments or agenda items? No, you're not? Okay. Consent agenda.
I move to accept the recommendation of the Administration and Finance Committee to approve the minutes of the special board meeting held on April 8th, 2019, the board meeting held on April 17th, 2019, and the financial reports, which include the revenue and expenditure report dated April 30th, 2019, and the voucher list dated April 30th, 2019, in the amount of $101,866.54.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none?
No, you didn't finish.
Yeah, there's one more item on there.
We also have the election results, so I adopt resolution R0219 to approve the official election results electing Paul Minks, Stephen R. Schmidt, and Erica Epperson as Morton Grove Park District Board Commissioners. I'll second.
Hopefully there's no discussion. Hearing none?
Commissioner Schmidt,
Aye.
Commissioner White,
Aye.
Commissioner Mann,
Aye.
Commissioner Meeks.
Aye.
Yeah, so director's report. So coming up, this is just the middle of the month, but we won't meet until the middle of June. So there is a lot going to be going on in the park and around the district. So the first thing that I'd like to mention is on June 7th is our first movie in the park. It's at Har Park beginning at about 8:30. It's Mary Poppins Returns. On Saturday, June 15th, we have our annual Sizzle into Summer, which offers music, food, inflatable fun, and other activities from 5 to 10 p.m. It's a great way to start Father's Day, the night before, you know. So it's a great opportunity to get them out and having some fun. But we have 28 days, first band playing from 6 to 7:30, and Billy Croft and the 5 Alarm from 8 to 9:30. June 18th is the first concert in the park featuring Peach's Beach Party. Food service begins at 6, music begins at 7, and I know, Paul, you had acknowledged this in a past meeting, but we have expanded the concert, so we go a little bit further into August now, so it's a great opportunity from our community survey. You know, we knew that a lot of people use that, so we expanded it.
What does Peaches and the Beach Party play?
It's Caribbean music, but mostly Jimmy Buffett. And this year we're doing something different. We're trying a little pilot project called Pop Up and Play. And that begins on June 18th, so on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at various parks throughout the summer. We have staff go out from 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning and provide games and activities for kids between the ages of 1 and 8. You know, a lot of parents don't utilize our park, or excuse me, our camps. So this is an opportunity for us to go out to them, give them some structure at least for an hour. And if we do really well and it takes on, we'll expand it a little bit more for next year. But it's a kind of nice thing to, we think, to be able to offer to the community. And I just want to stress that there's a lot going on this summer, and to go to our website or to the brochure to find out all the activities that we've had. That concludes it.
Attorney's report?
Steve didn't send anything, but he has been working on that, the grant resolution that's in this packet. He's also looking over the Manassas lease, because that's due for renewal or it's renewal, but all the components within the lease are up for negotiation. So in the past, we've only been able to, every 5 years, we get comps and then figure out a base fee, and then it only goes up a small percentage every year after that. This is an opportunity to look at it. Since it's been 20 years, I've asked you to kind of look at it and see what other things that we need to be able to include in that. But there are things that we're going to need to look at as well. So that'll come to you guys in the future. Once I have the agreement in place with them, then we can kind of talk about some key components.
Some new business. Last name, you get it right.
Next week, Laura Key,
Sorry.
Department Head.
Okay, quickly, so Park Patrol will be starting Memorial Day weekend. We have their same officers coming back in a different capacity, and they'll be working through Labor Day, so we'll see them around. In addition to that, we're starting manager on duty for full-time staff that will be working a Saturday from June 1st through Labor Day. So it's our busy season, and it's nice to have some additional full-time staff here to cover during the busy season. And then lastly, we have one full-time position left to fill, which is the Parks Maintenance 1, and we are starting to interview next week. So hopefully that will be all in place and done by the end of the month.
Key.
Mansfield, we started Mansfield last week. Kids around the world came out and removed the playground last week, and Hacienda is scheduled to start this week. We're going to start tomorrow. We have our meeting at Austin for the design of Austin playground tomorrow. That's tomorrow night over at Austin Park at 6:30. Staff's been busy with a lot of prep in the parks, just getting them ready for getting ball fields ready, getting soccer fields ready, getting the water fountains turned on, getting the field houses open, the pavilions, and working on the pools. Oriole's full. We're starting to filter and heat the water there, and next week we're going to start over at Hart.
And this Saturday, we're having our first Park Pride Day. It's from 8 a.m. to noon, and Keith's got 30 people from Bella Terra, is that correct? Bella Terra? Coming out to help spread mulch, plant flowers, flower beds, planters, do some other landscaping. So if anybody's looking for something to do on Saturday morning to spruce up the parks, that's a perfect opportunity. So we're starting at Hart first, right?
No, starting here.
Oh, here, that's right, here. We'll be here at the Prairie View. Great. Martin?
Yes. We're right now, currently, we're just, we're switched over. We're now in Fifth Third. NB merged with Fifth Third on May 3rd of 2019. So now all of our reports and all our financial statements and all our money reports and any kind of checks go through Fifth Third. So we're in the process of working with them to get everything to where we need to be. Next month, we're presenting our audit report. The financial auditors will be in here to present the CAFR. This will be the partial year CAFR for 8 months. It's going to cover just the, and then after that, we're going to be on a calendar year system, whereas before we run a fiscal year ending April 30th. We certified the tax levy, which we usually file the tax levy, or we approve the tax levy in front of the board in December, and then after that, 60 days after that, we file it with the county, and then around 60 days after that, they send a certified copy, which we approve. So we certified the tax levy for 2018, that'll be collected in 2019. That's it.
Anything else?
Any changes with Fifth Third and everything with proceeds?
It's the same in certain ways, but you just have different information. So in some ways, it's linked up better because you can look up things that you had to call in for. Other ways, it's just a matter of getting used to how to run reports and do uploads and downloads to it, because there's a lot of information there, and there's reports and statements. We just have to get them. They were here today going over what they're going to offer to us and what kind of service we'll get from them.
Geraldine?
Yes, recreation staff, it's kind of a very busy time of year between April and May. We're wrapping up our spring programs and events, working on gearing up for summer programs events while still planning our fall programs and events. So it's kind of a crazy time, but everyone's going right with it. We wrapped up preschool graduations last week. They're cleared out of the field houses already, so maintenance can take over. Saturday, June 8th, we have a blood drive here at Prairie View from 10 to 4. We have our summer fitness special, $80 for 90 days, and that includes club fitness and group X classes, which is a nice little special for the summer. This Sunday, May 19th, we have our dance recital, Feeling Good is the theme, and it's going to be held at Maine East High School. There'll be 18 dance numbers this year, and we will be starting there at 12 o'clock. And last but not least, pool staff training has started. So Mary's working with our pool staff gearing up to get Oriole ready to go on Saturday, May 25th, and along with HAR on June 8th. So we'll be ready to go. We're excited about getting the summer going.
Administration and finance.
I have 4 action items tonight. First one is the board officer and committee assignments. Do you want to do the both of office first?
Yeah. So, we'll do Paul first, then Steve, and then Eric. So, let's. Sorry.
Why not?
Yeah. All right.
Over to-
Really well for me.
March we go.
Pardon me? No. Okay, well. It's right. Yeah, I'm trying to hide that on with so. Okay. So I'll start with I, and then you'll say your name, and then we'll go over the rest. Okay. I do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Park Commissioner
of Park District Commissioner
in accordance to my best abilities.
in accordance to my best ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you. I
Steve Schmidt,
do solemnly swear or affirm
solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Park District Commissioner
and I will faithfully discharge the office and duties of Park District Commissioner
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
And now our new commissioner, Erica
My
Emerson.
pockets.
I state your name.
I, Eric Hopperson,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Park District
Hold on.
Commissioner. I know. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Park District Commissioner
of the office of Park District Commissioner
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Great, congratulations. And you, this there's everything that you have right there.
Now, you can have that, but I'll copy it and keep a copy of it.
Thank you.
Thanks, I'll give you the original, okay?
There you go.
Okay, thanks.
Right. Board officers and committee assignments.
Right, so within the packet, there is nomination areas here. So for the board and staff, the first item, or first is board officers, and we'll need a president, vice president, treasurer. So do we want to take nominations for president?
Yes.
Okay, so what?
Paul names for the president.
Okay, if we get a vote in a second, then we'll just affirm everybody, just we'll vote on all of them at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, is that fair? Okay, so Paul Meeks, seconded by,
I'll second it.
okay. Vice President,
I nominate Keith White.
you right, second,
I'll second.
and a treasurer.
I'll nominate Erica Epperson.
Second.
Okay. Uh, Okay. Then the board secretary is myself. The recording secretary is usually Claudia, unless you guys want to change that. Is that okay?
No.
Really what we've done in the past? Okay. So, why don't we go ahead, we got a motion, a seconded, why don't we vote on President Paul Binks, Vice President Keith White, Treasurer Erica Epperson, Board Secretary Jeffrey Wade, Recording Secretary Claudia Mayer.
Commissioner White,
Aye.
Commissioner Mano,
Aye.
Commissioner Everson,
Aye.
Commissioner Meeks,
Aye.
Commissioner Schmidt.
Aye.
Okay, now for committee assignments, Administration and Finance Committee, we just need to nominate one board member. Would kind of make sense that since Erica is a treasurer, that she be also the Administration and Finance Committee, but that's up to you guys.
Do you want to go with that?
Okay.
Well,
Somebody else can take it.
Yeah,
You
you
don't have
have
to, you don't have to do it all. If you want to split it up, we can assign it to someone else.
I
Paul
can.
can do it.
Well, I nominate Paul Meeks
Okay.
for Administration and Finance Committee.
All right. For Parks, Facility, and Maintenance Committee,
I nominate Steve Schmidt.
second.
Second.
We did Recreation, Facility, and Program Committee,
I'll nominate Mark Mano.
second.
Second.
Okay, we'll just go down the list here. Manasseh,
And it's, I don't think we had a second for Paul for administration and finance.
do we have a second for Paul?
No.
We'd like to second that.
I will second.
Okay,
So you get out of it.
all right. Okay, I serve as the board of directors for Manasseh. Marty's the alternate. Museum Council typically is the president, however, we don't have to do that, so whatever everybody's convenient. It's the council, we meet quarterly.
Who's interested? I don't want to get it today. Be perfect for you.
We got nominated.
Okay, so
I nominate Paul Biggs to be the
need a
museum
second?
Second.
liaison.
Erica, seconded. Morton Grove Baseball Association, this is just a liaison between the board and our affiliates, so we just need someone to attend their meetings. Elizabeth usually handles most of the stuff that they typically meet periodically out through this, most of the summer and sporadically through the winter.
The third Thursday.
The third Thursday of the month?
I'll nominate Erica Epperson.
Second.
Okay, and then Morton Grove AYSO.
I mean, why not?
Yep. Steve?
I'll nominate Steve Schmidt.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Erica? Okay. Roll call?
Okay, Commissioner Mano,
Aye.
Commissioner Epperson,
Aye.
Commissioner Meeks,
Aye.
Commissioner Schmidt,
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Right.
So you would step in now.
Yes. You can switch seats. Or just pass the gavel. You're probably easier. I know. he's-
Killing.
I know.
Well,
We'll get you one.
well, okay.
Where's the wisdom?
Yeah, so you know what, it's been an interesting experience for me. First I want to thank the staff, because you guys are all really easy to work with, and I know it's been a challenging year in some ways, and I think obviously it's going to get more challenging as we move along, but I think we all seem to have a good working relationship and always find a common ground, so thanks for being transparent. Also want to thank the board. I mean, you guys are fantastic. We may not always agree, but we always seem to find a good solution, and I think everybody, always tries to do what's right for the community, and that's a good thing. And for me, I learned a lot over this year as a person. I think when I became president, I didn't really expect that the Harpool situation would kind of come into focus, but I think it's been a growing experience. It's been, I've learned that you're not going to make everybody happy, but if you do the best that you can and you try to do what's right, things always seem to shake out, at least the way they should. So that's what I've learned, and I'm glad that I had the chance to do this, and I'm looking forward to turning it over to my fellow commissioner and also my good friend, Paul Meeks. So.
Let's give it a clap. All right, next. I have the sick leave policy.
Yeah, so over the last couple of months or over the last year, we've kind of just noticed that the sick leave policy, when we changed it a few years ago, it's just not really standard for Park District, but we also found that people who need the sick leave, we had an individual from the Parks Department needed to take all the time that they had. Thank God that he had banked some of those times, or he had grandfathered those in, or he would have been on short-term disability, or would have gone without pay. So Laura went and checked out all the local park districts to see what is kind of standard, and we're suggesting some changes to that. Instead of earning a half day per month, they've earned 1 day per month, and we cap it not at 30 days, but 120 days. I know in the past, the board was concerned that this could go into pension padding, which it doesn't. That's more on the lines of vacation time. This isn't something that is effective. And Mark, you will remember, we capped it at 30. Like, once you reach 30, there's no more. So it's kind of punitive in the sense that when they really need it the most, it's not there. So we would like to make that change.
And that's in line with other park districts.
Sure.
I move to accept the recommendation of the Administration and Finance Committee to approve the updated sick leave policy to the Morton Grove Park District Personnel Policy Manual.
I second.
Commissioner Schmidt, Commissioner Meeks,
Aye.
Commissioner White,
Aye.
Commissioner Mano, Commissioner Epperson.
Aye.
And, next I have the grant resolution R0319.
Great, so One of the things that we're going to be doing with Austin Park is we're going to be changing the playground. We're going to redesign the playground. Tomorrow we're going to have a community meeting. We invited neighbors to come, take a look at the different concepts, provide our feedback. But one of the things that we wanted to do, and that is to apply for an OSLAD grant. That's a state fund. It stands for Open Space Land Acquisition and Development. It's a matching grant, so if we put in $250, they'll match that up to $400,000. And that gives us an opportunity to really leverage that money to improve Austin Park. Going through the application process, one of the things that the board has to adopt is this resolution that says if they do have OSLAD money, that we have the money and that we will adhere to the policies and procedures within that to spend that money within a certain period of time and those type of things. And that's all that grant resolution does. So I would say at this point we have not heard if the state is going to have funds for OSLAD. But we'll go through the process. If they don't have the money, we'll still redo the park. Okay? If they do have the money and we're not accepted, we'll still do the playground. And if we get the full money, then we'll do what you've seen as far as the master plan for us.
So I move to accept the recommendation of the Administration and Finance Committee to approve grant resolution R0319 for improvements to Austin Park, which is the OSLAD grant program resolution.
Second.
I had some discussion, were our reps, state reps contacted for any help, guidance, solicitation?
Not yet. That is something that we plan to do, yeah. Since we are so divided, it's, you go to the individuals that have the most, Representative D'Amico would be one of those that we would reach out to. But we'd reach out to all of them if they did have the funds to say, would you provide a letter of support for that? And we would do that, yes. Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Roll call?
Commissioner Meeks?
Aye.
Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Romero?
Aye.
Commissioner Everson?
Aye.
Commissioner Schmidt?
My report.
Public comments on non-agenda.
Yeah, hold on, we got two other items.
So non-action items, foundation review.
Yeah, the
There it is.
foundation document review, so within the packet, there's the bylaws for the foundation, so before we can continue to move forward with this, we really need to talk about purpose well, first of all, we gotta figure out a name. So let's do a quick internet search of all park districts that have parks. It's, it would be like the Morton Grove Park Foundation. We can continue to do that, or you can go Friends of Morton Grove Parks, which I kind of like, because I think Morton Grove Parks Foundation is a little too close to the Morton Grove Foundation. But it could be anything that we want. So I'm just wanting to have that discussion so that we have so we can move forward on this.
What is everybody's thoughts?
Friends of Morton Grove.
Yeah, I agree. I like both.
I like the Friends.
Yeah.
Friends? Okay. And then when we look at the purpose for this, they're listed on your documentation, A through E. I can see where it's all applicable to us. The only thing that I kind of thought that really didn't was D, is acquiring, holding, and conveying land for future development for parks. I mean, that might be, to include it, great, because it's always there. You don't have to go and change the bylaws, but do I really see immediately that's going to happen? No, but in the future, it could. So I would just kind of,
I like the idea of leaving it.
Yeah.
okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, and then I did send out a letter to all the individuals that we approved for the board. A little confusion about addresses, and I apologize for that. But we did send it out. No one has responded back that they're not interested any longer in attending. So one of the things that we will need to do is sort of figure out a staggered term for the individuals. You don't want them all coming off at the same time, or half on, half off. So Nicole Harris, with our attorney, suggested that we do a stagger, and we can do it any way that we want, or we can just kind of have them, kind of do that for us to figure out. It's up to you guys how you want to do it.
So it would be maybe a 2 and a 4.
Could be, yeah.
I think that's
Or
reasonable.
you kind of like put, half at 4, a couple at 3, 2 at 2, whatever that may be.
That's
just so
staggered,
that-
we could,
Yeah,
depending on how many members we have.
right. So, we have 6.
6 right now?
Yeah.
Does that count you too?
Well, I'm a liaison, so, yeah. I will be there also.
Okay.
So once we have that in place, I believe that is really all that Nicole said that we should be focusing in on. So she'll be working on a memo of understanding so that they understand what what kind of assistance they can expect from the company.
Do you
Once
want
that's
to
in
put
place.
together something for us that, if you stagger them, that we could? all-
I can do that, sure. I can just, you can kind of fill in the blanks where you want people to serve. I mean, it's your decision. So I could just have, blank 2-year, blank 2-year, and you can give your suggestion of who goes in.
Okay.
Right, I've asked them to provide any input on who wants to be a president, vice president. I haven't heard back yet. So I think once we are able to sit down, round table, I think that would give it a better opportunity for them to decide how to do that.
Do they decide amongst them, or do we decide at the board?
No, so what they do is they make suggestions, and
Okay.
then I'll come back to you and say, okay, can I have
And we
approval on
approve
these?
it.
Yeah, technically it's it's a part of this foundation, you should have approval of who does what, so, yeah.
Last, we have the town hall meeting overview.
Yeah, so Mark, at the last meeting, you asked to give an overview of the town hall meetings that we will be doing for Hart Park, for our project at Hart Park. So I just put something together really quickly to say, okay, really the purpose is twofold. One is to disseminate the information. It says, here's the 4 concepts that we have before us. Here's the cost of those concepts, get some idea as to cost estimates, that kind of stuff. And really to solicit input, kind of give people, the residents' thoughts and feelings on those concepts. So what does a town hall meeting look like? So we'll do, so this is the process. We'll sign people in, okay? We want to sign in first, last name, address, so that we can go back and we can look at where most of the individuals coming from, okay? It's not scientific by any stretch of the imagination. However, it does give us an idea of who's coming to these meetings. We'll do some introductions. We'll introduce staff, the board. Paula, if you wanted to say some things beforehand, that would be great. And then